I wanna see you do better. Fly, I'ma need a propeller. Fly when it's cold on the wall like a sweater. When I'm high in the train in the weather. Only had one time you can hear my voice.
What's good with you, Brody?
Jelly, man. Just got done with a session. Some of the gyms are opened up, so just taking full advantage of it and getting those one-on-one sessions out the way. What about you, man?
Just got done working, man. Cut a couple of lawns this morning. Kind of get on the grind, but yeah, man, that's same old, bro. Just always working, grinding, man. You know the drill. Yeah, man. Today we got a very special guest, Alissa Pili. She's a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year. She won 2 state championships with Diamond High, and she holds the Alaska State with 2,614 points. And she also, this previous year, won a freshman Pac-12 Freshman Player of the Year at USC. So it's going to be an interesting podcast, man.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. I'm excited.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, Miss Alissa?
Yo.
Chilling at home, about to go to the field after this.
I feel you.
Okay, about to get that work in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, so how's everything like you been holding up during these like times? Like, how's your fam been and everything? Like, how's everybody doing during these times?
Everyone's good, especially after this weekend. We had a little getaway. We went out camping with the whole fam. Had a little graduation ceremony for all the graduates. So we've been pretty good.
That's nice. Where was that at?
Sutton. It's just past Palmer.
Okay.
Nice. Man, like all this COVID-19 stuff has just been like changing everything. And so it's nice to just like be with the fam and spend that, Well, and for first off, like just for those who don't know, just tell the people, a little bit about yourself and, where you from and what Alissa's all about.
So I started off living in Barrow, Alaska for until I was about 7 years old. And then I ended up moving to Anchorage just because there's more opportunity, even though it isn't like much opportunity in Alaska overall, but just moving to Anchorage for better opportunity with my family, and born and raised over here. And I don't know, I didn't really like have the plan of like moving out of state like a lot of athletes are doing now, just because I had a lot of help along the way with my recruiting process. But yeah, I mean, I went to Diamond High School freshman through senior year, and went off to play basketball. Just finished my freshman season and my freshman year academically as a student at USC. And yeah.
I mean, did a lot forever, like as far as like just starting your career in the basketball game, because you still got a long way to go, and like you putting Alaska on the map, keep grinding. Just rewinding back to Barrow. When did you move from Barrow to Anchorage, and like why?
I moved it was mostly my parents' decision, just because they knew when they started to see me and my brother getting involved in sports, they wanted us to have more exposure and more competition to get better. So that's pretty much why we moved, just for more opportunity.
Yeah, and like what grade were you in at that time?
I want to say I started 3rd grade over here in Anchorage.
Okay.
So that's when I started playing basketball too.
So you just finished your freshman year at USC, and you guys were just kind of getting the groove of things, and the tournament just kind of was getting kicked off. And can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, definitely, we were all stoked to go on to go on a run at the WNIT tournament, and just to get our rank higher for next year, and just to compete and show like everyone that we can make it to the big tournament. And I think we deserve to, just because how hard we worked and everything we gone through, like all the injuries, and then having a whole new team, having so many freshmen. But yeah, I mean, we're all bummed out about it, and we wish we could have played in there, but it is what it is.
where were y'all at that time when y'all found out, like, damn, like, we're not even about to be playing? Like, where were you at, like, at that time? Like, when you found the announcement out?
So I think we only got like one practice in after the Pac-12 tournament, and then so we were all just chilling and we were all just seeing all the news and everything about like the NCAA tournament about to be canceled or like without any fans, and so we're like, dang, like there's no way our tournament is gonna be continued. And then that day that our coaches had a meeting with all of us and said that I think the first meeting was just saying that it may be canceled, and as soon as they find out if it is, they'll let us know so we can go home.
Yeah, that's tough. But it is what it is, just like you said. And like you did some things, like as far as being like, congrats on winning freshman of the year, like freshman of the year, Pac-12. Talk to us a little bit about that and what your mind frame was for the whole season for you, because it was a big season for you.
So the beginning of the season, I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to do. And I was getting frustrated and I was like getting down on myself a lot. And like talking to my dad helped me a lot, just giving me some like advice on what to do. And like, he told me to speak up and talk to the coaches about what I'm going through. Cause like how I am, I usually keep everything to myself and like try to deal with it by myself. But this was like bigger than me. So I knew I had to step up and actually say something and like to get what I wanted. And so, yeah, I think I had a conversation with the coaches and like they could tell I was down too. So they were wondering what was wrong. And I mean, like I tried to grind it out throughout this, like the beginning, and I was doing like average, like okay, but like that's not what I would want to hit. That's not what I was used to. Even though I was a freshman, I didn't really care. I wanted to do like the best I could do, and like I didn't want to settle for how I was doing. And I mean, just as we started conference, I started to gain confidence, and our team started to work a lot more together, and we knew each other well by then. So I think my game like stepped up from there, and it was a big confidence thing for me. I think just like knowing I could hang up there with the top players in the nation, and just having a mindset that like I don't care who I'm playing, I'm gonna just go out there and play my game is what got me through this season. So.
That's it right there. Like just not for one, just not caring who else is whoever you're playing, like just going at their head no matter what, but also communicating and just being able to speak up. And like it takes a lot of courage just being tough. But when it's time to go, you say it was bigger than yourself and you took that initiative and communicated. So like just tell the young viewers and all the young hoopers just like the importance of communication, and not just like on the floor, but like off the floor, because at the next level that's a big topic, communication.
Oh, yeah. In high school I didn't really have to worry about all that because I mean it's Alaska basketball, and like it's not as big as what I got into in college. And I mean, yeah, communication is like you have to have good communication once you get to that level, because the coaches are not always going to see what you see, and they're not always going to stuff from your side of or like your perspective. So you got to kind of just communicate with them and just tell them what you're going through. And if you have a good coach, they'll help you with what you're going through. And like even if it's not something on the court, like if you're dealing with something off the court too, like I know like it will carry on to the court if it's really that big, and you just got to get off your chest. But yeah, communicating, it's I think the most important thing on and off the court, because it's a lot to do with your mental, and the game has a lot to do with like your mentality and how you think. So
yeah, I totally agree. Like it's not just like physically, it's also mental. You can put all the work in that you want, but if you ain't mentally there, then everything else is not gonna work out. But yeah.
What is some of those like challenges that kind of you had to face and overcome, like coming from small Alaska to a big school like USC? And how'd you kind of like face those? What helped you? Some things that helped you besides communication, obviously.
I would say, like I said before, my confidence. Like I don't know. I'm pretty humble, and I don't really like. I don't know. I don't think much of myself, even though others like praise me and all that. But
You stay neutral with
yeah,
it.
like that's how I was brought up, just to be humble and not to go out boasting about like what I do and like what I've accomplished and stuff. And so that's just pretty much how I am, and I'm just like quiet on the court. Like I don't really be talking or anything, and that's something I had to learn. But something else besides communication, I would say just like adjusting to the game quickly, I guess. Like you gotta adjust like on the fly. You can't be just like sitting around waiting for something to change. You gotta go do it yourself. So
Well, who are like some people that are your biggest influence as far as the game, right? As far as teaching you the game, and talk to us a little bit about that.
I think my dad is my biggest, like has had the most impact on me ever since I was little, because he knows my potential and he knows what kind of player I am. And I think he knows his own kids, so that goes for all of us. And he knows what like after games, I always talk to him. Before and after games, I always talk to him. And like once things started to get tough in my conference, they started like double, triple teaming me. I had to talk to him kind of just because he knew like what's gonna work and what doesn't. Like my dad is one of the smartest people I know. Not book smart, but street smart. Like he knows, like his common sense is on a whole different level. And that's why he gets mad at us so much in our games, because he knows we could be doing so much better if we had the mind of his, I guess. But yeah, I would say my dad, because he knows me like as a player and as a person, and he knows how to like pick defenders out and what their weaknesses and strengths are and what they like and what they don't like. And so he tells me that all the time, to just study your opponent and just see what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Mm-hmm. And then going into like playing against different opponents, you got an opportunity, to play. I mean, you've played Oregon a couple times, but what was it like to play against a fellow Alaskan as well?
It was cool. I mean, me and Ruthie haven't really, like, I don't really know her like that, but I always make sure I'm giving props to her, because it's not hard, it's not easy to make it out of Alaska and make it on the big screen like that, like how she's doing. And so, but playing against them was fun. Like even though we got blown out at the end, it was fun just to experience that and play against like these top hoopers in the nation. And just playing against Ruthie, I think it was a big thing for our state, and just seeing us two in the Pac-12 going at it. But yeah, it was cool. We said what's up afterwards and took a picture and all that. But yeah.
We like to play like a quick hitters. So we're gonna go for like a minute, and we're gonna ask you just a bunch of like random questions, and just whatever pops up to your head. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. What's your favorite restaurant in Alaska?
Double Muskies, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Favorite, but
favorite Avalanche, or no? Why would I say it already? Favorite pizza at Bears Tooth?
The chicken barbecue.
Yeah, the Avalanche. I was about to say that Avalanche.
Favorite movie?
What? Blindside.
Okay, Blindside.
Let's see. Favorite Gatorade flavor?
The red one.
Tough. Favorite artist right now?
Like music artist?
Yeah, music. My bad.
I I don't have one. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Hey, all right. How about one person you'd love to go on IG Live with?
Damn. Michael Jordan.
Hey.
So we'll kind of go back to like high school a little bit. Just like kind of, you said earlier that you kind of had help like with the recruiting process, and it's obviously harder because we were so remote. Like, so can you kind of help the younger generation, like maybe explain to them how you kind of did it and kind of what you did to get to USC? Obviously, besides performing.
I made sure like I had some connections. Like my high school coach Jim Young had a lot of connections, so he helped me a lot with like setting up calls to talk to coaches early in my high school career. And yeah, I mean, he helped me a lot. And then my travel coach Ryan Hales helped me a lot with the same thing, just getting me out there to tournaments and stuff. And it was pretty much just up to me to perform in front of them. Like they could only do so much, so I think performance is the biggest thing that you got to do, because they could put you in front of all the coaches they want, but if you don't perform, it's not gonna do anything.
So how early were you? Did they have you contacting coaches, and like how often were you contacting them?
I think the first time I did was after the summer, like going into my freshman year at Diamond, and so that's when I got my first offer, I think, by Hawaii. And like I was talking to coaches like probably a few times a week, like after the summer travel. But I mean, it didn't get too like busy until my junior year. So.
And then with that, like you know, piggybacking off of after recruiting process and getting that offer, right, and going to USC, right? Like, just take us through a day in the life of like a college athlete. Like, what is it? What's a normal day? I mean, because I know most of those days are not normal to the normal person, but just take us through a normal college athlete life.
So we would have weights at 6 a.m. And then practice right after at 8 o'clock. Then practice would go till like 11:30, almost 12. And then we'll have like some of us will have tutoring, some of us will have class. So I would have class like right after practice, and then I'll have some tutoring. Like I'll have like 2 classes a day, and they'll both be like an hour or 2 hours. And then I'll have tutoring at the end of the day from like 5 to 6 or 6 to 7, and that's the end of my day. So it pretty much goes from like 6 a.m. all the way to 7 o'clock at night.
Yep, I'm grinding. And like, what was it like just being there and practicing in y'all's facilities? Like, what were some things that surprised you, and what are some things that you were like, oh wow, like they got this? Like, man, I'm about to be like, they got trainers here, like grab my ankles. Like, what were some of the things that like you most like miss about it, or was surprised about coming in and playing college ball? Like, damn, they got like a hot tub, like boom, 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 like all those.
Like our facility didn't have as much as the football one, but we did work out. Like we're free to go to any like facility we want to, but like ours didn't have a hot tub. We had a cold tub, and I mean, we had to get our ankles taped every day before practice. And then I think the thing I miss most is just like our locker room afterwards and just talking about practice and some locker room talks.
Yeah, just being with all the homies and chopping it. Yeah. How's all your teammates doing? Like, you kept.
Yeah, we keep in touch, and we're actually all talking. My coach sent us this article about like Pac-12 schools letting athletes come back for voluntary workouts or whatever. But she let us know that we're not a part of that because LA and USC is not ready to open things back up. But yeah, everyone's doing good. I think everyone's staying active, and they've been sending us equipment and stuff like that. So we have stuff to work out with.
Like they sent y'all like what, like weights and stuff?
They sent us bands and like medicine balls, and I think that's it.
It's dope. It's dope. So what are some of like the best, like, not, I'm gonna say privileges, but like best things that you like at USC, like using, whether it's like a lab or like just whatever it is?
Yeah, don't gotta be on the court, like maybe
Yeah.
off the court. Like what's some cool things? Yeah.
I think like how much support we got academically. Like there's a whole they got a whole center for athletes, for our academic like tutors or our academic advisors. So like that's where we're all at all the time. Whenever we don't have class, just to get the extra help we need in the classroom.
And then like what are some things you like do for fun, like off the court? Like when you as a college athlete, I know you try to find some time, but like what are some things that you do in your free time, you know, like just to keep you, you know, sane or like
I'm usually with my teammates all the time, especially because there's 4 of us in a room. And I mean, I don't really explore that much. Like I'm kind of like a stay-at-home, like boring person. But
it's just that stay-at-home body, like that's how you build.
yeah, because when I do have free time, I'm tired, so that's all I want to do is just rest. But I mean, I have a teammate from LA, and she has a car, and sometimes we'll go out like to Roscoe's. That's our spot, Roscoe's. We go there all the time. Like the waiters know our orders and everything already.
Bro, they need to make a Alissa Pili plate at Roscoe. Alissa Pili. What do you usually get over there? What do you usually get over
I always
there?
get the Obama special.
Okay.
What's that?
It's like 3 wings with a waffle, and then I'll get a side of mac and cheese.
Bruh, I need some right now.
That's
I need a Roscoe's here right now. all this food talk, the Avalanche pizza, the Gatorade, and the Roscoe's. I need all that today. After all these sessions,
y'all been working.
Trying to get like you,
man. Trying to, you know, just trying to get these kids like you too, man. Like they got big dreams and they look up to y'all. You know, like y'all, people like you and players like you, y'all paving a path for the younger generation. And, you know, it's our job as trainers and coaches, you know, in the area to help them as best as we can, and y'all to just do what you do and continue to inspire. You know, like. It's all for Alaska hoops at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's something I've learned, and it's like such a humbling experience is how many like younger players look up to us. Like I'll get like random DMs or like messages in my Twitter and Instagram just asking me for like tips or like just asking for like a reply and how much they look up to me. And it's cool to see that, and that just makes me want to go like harder and just set a good example for all these girls. So
yeah, for sure. And you definitely doing a good job, like being a role model, and it's just like living your life with purpose, right? Living your life with purpose and like having that why, and that's part of like our why, you know, helping inspire them.
Yeah.
So
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
My fault. Yep. So but with that being said, you know, like the youngins asking you questions and asking advice, if you were that age, you know, and you were giving advice to young Alissa Pili, like what are some things you would tell her that you know now? You know, being through all that you've been through now, what are you telling her?
This is something my dad used to always tell me, was just to work hard now and it'll all pay off later. Just put in the work now, like don't give in to like the distractions and all the stuff that's on the side or like in your way to get where you want to be. Just, I mean, if you want to really make it out and want to be great, then I think that you just have to make those sacrifices and, you know, just do whatever it takes to get there.
So how is it kind of with your brother being at USC too? How's that experience? Is that pretty cool or?
Yeah, it's cool. We both got our own schedules, so we're pretty busy. And like at the end of our long days, we'll go and eat together or something. But yeah, it's always cool. It helps with like the homesick stuff. Like I don't miss home too much because he's over there with me. And I mean, it's just cool to have someone that's going through the student athlete grind, and he's been there before me, and he could help me with anything I need. So
I seen that one like video on Twitter. It was like you both of y'all, and it's like who knows the sibling the best or something like that. And y'all had to like write on the whiteboard. What was that?
It was like a quiz.
What was that segment?
Is to see who knows like if we know each other.
Yeah, that was funny. I was watching. I was laughing. That was funny. But yeah, hey, Alissa, appreciate you pulling up to the podcast. It was such a blessing for you to pull up and speak with us and talk it up about hoops, your life, and just thank you
guys
for pulling up.
And then just with the closing remark, let the viewers know where they can find you. Any social media platforms or whatever.
Yeah, my Instagram is Alissa Pili.
All right.
All right. Yep. Hey, thank you again. All right, Don. Good job, Brody.
Appreciate you. Keep hustling, motivated for the youngins, Alissa.
Of course.
All right,
Keep grinding.
All right.